Hello guys and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be talking about TOA 50, or more importantly, the actual boss stage. So this is floor 50, I assume, is kind of where people start to have trouble when they're first starting off and they're not exactly sure on how to beat it. Now I will help you beat this stage today if it's the last thing I do. But more importantly, I want you to understand understand what the boss stage even is. Right? It's like, what is the theme? Because each stage does have a theme. Each boss stage has a theme. And this stage's theme is counterattacking. Now, it is important to know this stuff and important to know what monsters are going to be waiting for you at floor 50. Because obviously you're not going to want to waste energy and you're not going to want to get stuck. You're going to want to be able to counteract the counterattackers. That sounds weird because you're counterattacking the counterattackers. But you want to be able to beat them. So, without any further ado, let's actually get into each of these monsters. Starting off with the boss himself, Xingzhe. I don't know how to say his name. Let's start off actually with his passive. Decreases incoming damage by 35% and counteracts with a 35% chance when an ally is attacked. When counteracting with Stone Monkey effect, the harmful effect activation rate increases by 15% or 50%. So that's the activation for any of these. Now, this is kind of obviously a bad thing for you. I mean, him being able to counterattack you. All these units, you're going to be surprised. They're going to attack you hard. And with that harmful activation rate, you're talking about getting stunned more. You're getting... oh, God, it's going to be annoying. Attacks with the monkey wand and stuns the enemy one turn with a 35% chance. Becomes 50% chance when fully upgraded. So you're talking about either you're going to have an 85% chance to get stunned when he counterattacks, or a 100% chance. I don't know if they let these units come in fully skilled up. Attacks and decreases the defense for 2 turns with a 75% chance and recovers your attack bar by 50% every 2 turns. So he's going to be a bit annoying, but believe it or not, I don't think we should aim for him first. I mean, if you're obviously if your account is pretty big, you can just nuke this guy down. It's not that hard. But for anyone who's new and who might not be able to nuke him down quite yet, he is not the person we're going to be aiming for. The next unit is Ascension. You're going to find this guy right by the Monkey King's side. He's the Dark Elven Ranger. This guy has a passive where he lays down supportive fire for allies under attack 3 times and inflicts continuous damage for 1 turn. Supportive fire deals damage based on your attack power to enemies that attack your allies. So that's going to kind of be a big deal because this is guaranteed. He's guaranteed to counterattack. Let's actually look at what his first skill is. I know we're skipping the second skill, but I think it's important to know the first skill because whenever an enemy counterattacks, they use their first skill. They don't use any other skill. Rapidly fires 2 shots and may fire an additional shot by chance. The chance of firing an additional shot is equivalent to your critical rate. Each attack has a 30% chance to decrease enemies' attack speed. So we're going to have a lot of attack speed slow. Attacks random enemies for 4 times. Each attack has a 75% chance to deal continuous damage for 2 turns. Decreases the cooldown time of this skill by 1 turn whenever you attack an enemy that already has continuous damage. So, there it is. And last but not least, we have Ursha. Ursha is going to be the very last monster you see on the boss stage. Ursha's not going to exactly be a big deal either, but I think he should be the second target we aim for. Which I'll give you guys the full strategy in a second. But this guy does have a counterattack on his 3rd skill. Provokes all enemies with a 70% chance and counterattacks every time you receive damage for 3 turns. And you can get this every 3 turns when fully skilled up. Roar, his 2nd skill, inflicts damage proportionate to your max HP to all enemies and decreases their attack power for 2 turns. Thrashes the enemy, inflicting damage proportionate to your max HP. The attack has a 50% chance to reduce the enemy's attack bar by 25%. So now that we understand all of our units, or understand all the enemies, let's get back to the TOA 50 stage and assemble our team. Okay, so here we are. We're ready to assemble our team. We have other units sitting in storage if we need to make them. So here's the big thing. The Monkey King is kind of dangerous, but we're going to have to kill him anyways. So I believe if we're just starting out, which we kind of are, I guess, on this account. I mean, not really, but you understand what I'm trying to say. It's like if we don't have too many options at our disposal, there are a couple things we do need to make sure of. The enemy does have quite a few debuffs, and they're going to either get us through breaking our defense, and that's going to be a big thing, because even if the monsters aren't, single-handedly dealing massive amounts of damage, with all the counterattacking they're going to be doing, that defense break is going to be nightmarish to us. The same with the attack power breaks and the dots. The dots are going to be dealing extra damage. You will find it won't even be that surprising that you'll find that your monsters will start losing a lot of health for what feels like no reason. So a big thing would be to get a unit like Lulu in the team, or Frawn, whichever has an immunity or cleanse. It's not 100% necessary. I mean, technically you can get by with just like a nuking team, but for someone who's starting out, I would recommend someone who has immunity or cleanse. So the next thing that we do need to talk about is that Dark Elven Ranger. That Dark Elven Ranger is nasty, in my opinion. I mean, he's able to counterattack all allies at least 3 times, and I'm assuming this is every single rotation, so that'll refresh every rotation, I'm assuming, which again can be dangerous. So no matter what, you're at least getting counterattacked by them. So I think while the Monkey King has a specific chance to counterattack, and Ursha needs to get off his 3rd skill to counterattack, those two have to wait. Those two are kind of like, the Monkey King has a small chance to counterattack, and Ursha has to actually get off his 3rd skill to counterattack. But the Dark Elven Ranger will counterattack whenever. So I think that should be our first target. Now, the way we can target him is by bringing like a Vigor or Juan, and then like Naomi or something like that, and like kind of like bursting them down. Which might be a good plan. Who knows? But last but not least, I mean, we got our healers. We don't need this many healers. I'm going to take out Juan, even though I love Juan. I'm not going to care about leader skill, because this is a 3-star count. But, we got our healers, we got our attackers. What we need now is a unit like Megan or Shannon, who's going to kind of buff our team up and make sure we take as little damage as possible. So, that being said, could do something like this, and our first targets will be the Elven Rangers. So we could attempt this and see how well it goes. I think this is a pretty safe team. But I'm going to update Lulu's runes, because I haven't touched Lulu's runes. Actually, no. I think we'll be fine, right? Yeah. He's not terribly fast, but Bernard and Vigor will help out here. So, I'll see you guys at the boss stage. Okay, guys, so here we are at the boss stage. As you can see, is the 2 Urshas, the 2 Dark Elven Rangers, and the Monkey King. I'm going to make sure we get our speed as high as possible. Aim for the first Dark Elven Ranger. Oh, it's going to be tanky. You see, though, that the Dark Elven Ranger is aiming for him. There we go. We got one out. We got to do this. Oh, we're not going to have the immunity, though. But we can do this, the crit resist, to make sure we do not crit at all. We could also pop one of those and make sure he doesn't get beneficial effects. So you see, we prevented him from getting that beneficial effect. That's another thing I could have said. We could have prevent debuffs or prevent buffs in general. But we got to make sure we are aiming for the Dark Elven Ranger. Now, this is the reason I wanted to bring Naomi, though, because it's like these guys are really tanky. I'm gonna do this, small little heal. Buffing our allies with the attack and defense buff. And this is why we wanted like that cleanse and the immunity, because then we get the provoking and all that crap. It's annoying. Oh, I should have. Oh well, whatever. So we got the big part out the way. We could aim for the Monkey King, but I want to be safe and do this. Now, of course, you could bring units like Thrawn to replace Lulu if you're on an actual normal account and not a 3-star, no LD account. You could also bring units like Crow. Crow would be much better than Naomi here because he'd be able to do so much more damage. We could kill him with this, right? Yeah. It wasn't necessary, but we could. And then now, there's nothing from stopping us. There's nothing to stop us from winning this. There's no way that the Monkey King solos my entire team. Just using whatever we have at disposal to hurt the Monkey King. Immunity, so he can't stun us. Because remember, he has a defense break and a stun on his kit. So we almost got it. There we go. Really easy. I mean, of course, the higher up this guy gets, it's going to be a lot harder. But generally with a team like this, where you see I have 2 healers, a crit resist, defense and attack buffs, you can bring a safe team to relatively beat this. But I think if you try to aim for like the Urshas first, or you aim for the Wind Monkey King first, you're going to find that that's going to be a really big mistake. These little side men are very dangerous. Aim for the Dark Elven Ranger if you're struggling with this, and then go for Ursha, and then go for the boss. I know it takes a little bit longer, but it's a guaranteed win. And I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.